I'm Dr. Cindy Davis Evans with the Cindy Davis Show. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Andre Pittman of Enthroned Records. My guest today is one of UK's finest DJs, spinning the greatest sounds of Detroit and Motown Soul. She has also interviewed some of the most notable legendary artists of our time. Welcome to the show, Miss Christine Dobbo.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, there you are. I can hear you now. Hello. Hello, Christine. How are you?
Hi. Yeah, very good. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you. Thank you for coming on to the show today. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So how long have you been DJing and doing the Motown gospel sound?
Been DJing for sort of like nearly 10 years now, and been doing radio around the same time as well. Mm-hmm. And it all started out with because my husband, he DJs and he's a radio presenter, and he normally does it with a friend of his, and his friend couldn't make it one day, so I stood in, and then I got asked. Yeah, so I got asked if I wanted to do a show. Mm-hmm. And they asked what genre of music, and I said it'd be like Motown Soul, Northern Soul, Gospel, and it all sort of like started off from there.
Wow, and the rest is history, huh? As I say.
Yeah.
That I want to congratulate you on your Enthroned Entertainment Hall of Fame recognition.
Yeah, I got it here, right here. Look. There we go.
Awesome! That is beautiful. Wow! Congratulations. How does it feel for you to get that nod?
I wasn't expecting it. It's all quite a surprise, really, because I saw this package on my doorstep when I got in from work, and I just thought, okay, what's this? And I thought my husband had ordered something, and of course, when I opened it up and got that from Andre Pittman from Events Entertainment. Mm-hmm. Music records. I was quite shocked. It's just nice to have the recognition of what I do.
Wow.
Especially, sharing the music, keeping the artists, sort of like out there in the media, teaching the younger generation and that, where this music comes from, the heartbeat of Motown, and just keeping the music and the artists, keeping the music alive, keeping it going, and teaching the new generation all about the history of music.
I love it. I love it. So what is your so what is it that you like most about DJing?
On the radio, it's like sharing, the music, the passion of what I've grown up with, the passion of music, and DJing out as well is, sort of like sharing that music and to the community, and them enjoying the music that I've been brought up with and love.
You also interview guests on your radio show as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I've interviewed many, many guests. Wow. Lots of them.
How do you solicit your guests?
Pardon?
How do you solicit your guests? How do you get your guests to come on the show?
Well, I've been lucky because of my show being recognised for what I do. I have some artists that approach me. I have Andre. He approaches me with artists. Greg Hanley, who sadly passed away a few years back. Mm-hmm. He was, we were working together, and just contacting artists as well, yourself, and I've been quite lucky. I've been quite fortunate, and I've just recently done an interview with the Manhattans, all three of them, with all the three artists, and sadly, David Tyson, who passed away, he was replaced by Lawrence, and so I've got that interview going out this month, and I've also managed to get Mickey Stevenson, so that's for September. So that's one of my biggest ones, other than the Supremes and you know, Ziola Gay and many others that I can mention.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Who really sticks out in your mind as your most memorable guest so far?
I've got quite a few. There's several. Like there's pinch me moments where with the Supremes, with Suzette and Sherry, you know, we're doing an interview and we're talking about Baby Love. We're talking about music, where a certain music, when you play it, it takes you back to a certain memory at a certain time. And when we were talking about Baby Love, we all sang the intro to like, and doing that with the Supremes is like a pinch me moment. When you ever going to do that again?
Absolutely. I remember when I
Yeah,
sung with them as well. That was a pinch me moment. It
exactly.
was
Yeah, yeah,
unbelievable to be singing
yeah,
with the Supremes. You know, that is just remarkable. I love
yeah.
that. I think that's one of the highlights of what we do, right?
Exactly. And so same with like Ziola Gay sharing, you know, finding out the history behind like the album cover, I Want You, what was the meaning of that cover, why Marvin picked that, you know, finding out all about that and
Yeah.
personal things that, you know, you find out about him that, you know, you didn't know before. It's finding out about the artist, the real personality, the real them.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't
Mm.
it?
It
That's
is, it is.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause, I used to read bios all the time, way back, for
Mm.
years, way before I started doing the Cindy Davis show, and had no idea, no inkling at all that I would be interviewing some of the people that I've read
Mm.
about in their bios. It's just one of those
Exactly.
pinch
And
me
it's,
moments, right? Fascinating.
yeah, especially when you've grown up listening to these artists and then
Yeah,
you wouldn't think like down the years down the line that you'd be actually interviewing them and some of them becoming, you know, great friends as well.
yeah. So when you were growing up, what music did you listen to? Who were your musical influences in particular?
Um, Growing up, it was like Jimmy Ruffin. There's particular track called What Becomes of a Broken Hearted. When I was a teenager, break up in a relationship, I used to connect my emotions with lyrics to artist songs. And that's how, you know, I connect a lot with music and understand music, what the lyrics mean. And, you know, growing up with, you know, listening to, I had the vinyl of the Motown Story, listening to Michael Jackson being interviewed when he was around 9 years old.
Yeah,
And talking about his influences like Diana Ross, you know, being influenced by the same artists.
that's amazing. Um,
Mm.
in your opinion, what do you think about the music of today?
The music of today, there's so many genres of music out there.
Yeah, there are.
And there's a lot of new Motown, new artists, you know, sort of like coming up the ladder. And, you know, it's great. And also it's kind of changed a bit. But for me, it's keeping where it all originates from and teaching the new, you know, the new generation, you know, the history of music, because they only know it as from today to what they hear. But
Yeah,
like my girls, they've grown up with music that I love, that I listen to. And of course, that's taken on with now my grandchildren listening to it. And it's nice. And yeah, it's like there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of variations and technology today as well. There's a lot of youngsters that are going out buying vinyl, but they won't open up the vinyl package. They keep it. They have like a library where they won't play that vinyl. They rather listen and stream it through YouTube or something. And the, you know, the generation, you know, like they're not used to vinyl. They're used to all this streaming technology and stuff like that. You know, when my daughter, first time she saw a vinyl, she thought it was a placemat for the table. You know, and she's like, "What's that? That plays music. How can a piece of plastic play music?" And then when you put the
yeah,
original record player and you play it, it's like they don't find it they find it abnormal. It's not what they're used to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because they just kind of missed all of that. I think the most,
Exactly.
what we used to do, we used to go to the record store, we would buy an album, look at the album cover, just admire it, and then there was a leaflet. You go inside and you read the lyrics. You had the lyrics that came with it, and it was just a whole experience.
Exactly.
But nowadays, this generation has kind of missed that, and it's just they just miss all that good fun, don't you think?
Yeah. The only good thing we have now is there are a lot of like record fairs where you can actually go and buy vinyl and buy the originals, and that's the good thing. There's a lot of that going on over here in the UK, where they have these record fairs, and if there's a particular record that you're after, the thing is it can get pricey. You could be paying like, if we say in euros, you could buy a record for like €1 up to 800 euro. It varies on the artist and what the track is.
That's crazy. Here too. It's like $50, to go in and buy one album these days. It's crazy. What is your favorite decade of music, you think? In your opinion, your favorite decade of music?
It is literally the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 60s and the 70s, definitely. A little bit of 80s, a little bit of 80s era, cheesy sort of like soul funk music. Yeah, it's like the Soul Train stuff. Yeah.
Soul Train stuff. I like that. You play guitar. I see you got a guitar back there. Do you play?
Well, I can play 2 chords. I can play it's by America, A Horse with No Name, but that's only 2 chords. But that's as far as I go with that.
Oh, okay. All right. So a lot of American artists go to the UK for they tour there, or either they move there. Why do you think that is?
The music scene over here in the UK is very big. There's nowhere where you cannot go to listen to a live band, go and see a gig and stuff. There is like so many venues over here, and music is big over here, all genres. Even with the new generation, you got new upcoming DJs and playing kind of like techno, and the music scene over here is there's a lot of people that go out during a weekday to go and see a band. They were willing to travel to go and see a band. There are a lot of bands over here at the moment which are out touring, and they're touring as well in the UK as well.
Yeah, I think it's like in the UK, the music is timeless and the artists are timeless over there. They can artists from the US can go to the UK and really make a great living, so because in the United States it's not that popular, they kind of move on to the next over here, but over in the UK, the music is timeless. So I love that about the UK.
There's a lot of because station that I do my show on, Eddie Pillar, Acid Jazz label. There's quite a few artists that he's signed up. He's always looking out for new talent.
Have you been to the USA?
No, but I'd love to go out there. So that's our plans. We're hoping by 2025 that we will come out, obviously get out there to meet Andre as well. So yeah, that's our plan. We want to come to LA.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Right now you are DJing with the Totally Wired Radio.
That's correct. Yeah, wow. I have a monthly show that goes out.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a monthly show that goes out the last Sunday of each calendar month. And obviously the 26th of this month, we've got the Manhattans. That interview is going out. Yeah, and I'm on Totally Wild Radio, which is www.totallywildradio.com.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so you've been with that radio station for 10 years, or was there another one that you
No,
were with
I've been
before?
with this station for about 3 years now, but previously before that I was with Radio Woking and Woking Music Radio as well.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you see music going? You've been DJing for a long time.
Yeah.
And where do you see music going, in the future? Have you had any thoughts
Um,
about that?
I think a lot there's like vinyls like coming back again, so
Mm-hmm.
which is a good thing. But with the new generation, it's like they're becoming their own producers, because technology today is so more advanced to what we've been used to.
Yeah.
Like back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, you can stream anything now. There's so much software out there where you can create your own music as well. You can be your own producer.
Wow.
And that's, with music, I can see the younger generation producing their own music.
Mm-hmm. What does
Yeah.
Motown music mean to you? What does the Motown soul music mean to you?
It's in my veins, it's in my blood, my heart beats.
Yeah.
I've got hits real heartbeat in my heart. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah,
Me.
it means a lot to me. It's very, very passionate. It's what I've been grown up with. It's all I know, and you know I'm always looking for rare Motown like soul stuff out there and stuff. And you come across a track that you sort of, oh, I've missed that one. It's you come across some which hasn't been released. And
Yeah.
that's the good thing about it. You're always finding that little hidden gem somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I love to hear songs that I didn't know was out there. There is just so much
Mm,
music out there, Motown
yeah.
artists, and it's just a jewel. It's just a treasure
Mm,
of music out there. And I just want to thank you for playing playing the music and
thank
introducing a new
you.
generation to the Motown sound. And
Yeah.
it's just a blessing to have grown up in that era too. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the gospel as well. It's like I'm very passionate about gospel music.
Yeah,
And
I was
my
going to ask you
husband,
about that.
it's like we went to a soul weekend, and my husband, he was very sort of like open-minded about gospel music. And he wasn't really kind of like getting where my passion comes from, what it means to me. And there was a gospel choir, the reggae choir, and they sang gospel. And my husband stood there and he was crying. I said to him, "Why are you crying?" He goes, "It's beautiful." He says, "It's just like out of this world." It got him inside, and
Yeah.
he can understand where my passion for gospel music, where it sort of like comes from. For him to experience and see them singing live, he
Yeah.
underestimated it, and he actually got it, what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's uplifting, it's
it
inspiring.
is. It is
It
definitely.
touches your heart, and it opens your soul and your spirit. It makes
Mhm.
you just, that it's just the spirit. It's just the spirit in the music. It's amazing,
Yeah,
amazing. And you also
definitely. Yeah.
play you also spin gospel songs on your radio show. Do you have like a separate radio show for gospel and one for Motown?
Yeah, I did. I had a show called Gospel called into Dobbo, and I'm looking at starting that up again. I did kind of sort of like it's I haven't sort of had that show running for a while, but I'm looking at getting that back up and running, because I've got a lot of artists that are sending me gospel music and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, So gonna hopefully get that back up and running, you know, in the next couple of months.
Maybe even you can have some gospel artists on your show as well.
Yeah, I've had some artists before on the show, and yeah, so
that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and just exploring and talking about this good music and gospel music, and it's just been really a pleasure to meet you. And thank you so much for coming on to the show. And
thank you for having me.
Of course. And I want to thank you for watching the Cindy Davis Show. Until next time, God bless.